ज़रूर से इंश्योर करेगा कि आप इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दें। हमारा जो फ्री टेलीग्राम ग्रुप चैट है उसको लोग पिन कमेंट में डाल देंगे, जाके उसको चेकआउट करिए, उसको ज्वाइन करिए, लोगों से बातें करिए और हमारे मेंबरशिप्स को भी ज़रूर देखिएगा। नाउ सिट बैक एंड एंजॉय। बट एक्चुअली नाउ लेट्स मूव टू आरसीबी।
अच्छा, बिफोर टॉकिंग अबाउट आरसीबी,
हाँ,
भैया आप कौन सी टीम को सपोर्ट करते हैं?
I was about
Since you
to
are from
ask.
Bangalore, yeah.
Yeah, look, professionally, I'm not supposed to side towards any team, but as a fan, I love watching RCB play. RCB for life, no doubt about it. So I've stood in queues. I've been lathi charged while buying tickets. I've bunked college. Earlier years of IPL, I was still a student, and obviously I didn't have money. I had to save up pocket money. I go to the queue, stand for hours together to buy tickets. I've done all kinds of crazy things. So yeah, RCB for life. Great fan of the team. We get trolled a lot, mercilessly, but I think it's all fun and games. It was wonderful. So one of my favorite memories, of course, of watching this team is uh, this year. I mean, the Chennai Super Kings game. I wasn't working on the game. Normally in the
Oh my
IPL,
God.
when you're working on the game, it's very very difficult to kind of stay sane and especially when the tight finish of that kind happens. You're thinking story angles, you're thinking narratives, you're thinking analysis, you're thinking color. How do I write? What do I write? That match I simply enjoyed as a fan, and it was goosebumps, man, truly. So yeah, I followed RCB right through the IPL. So yeah, follow them.
Perfect. So what do you think about their retentions? क्योंकि इनके सेकंड लीस्ट रिटेंशंस रहे हैं. ओनली पंजाब ऐसी टीम है जिनने इनसे ज़्यादा कम रिटेंशंस कर रखे हैं. एंड द नेम्स दैट दे हैव गॉन विद, आई थिंक कुछ लोगों को मे बी सरप्राइजिंग लगे बट नॉट दैट सरप्राइजिंग.
And by the way, you are allowed to be speaking as a fan. यहाँ पे कोई over professionalism होने की जरूरत नहीं है. Please feel free.
See, I think Mohammad Siraj, if you look at Mohammad Siraj, ever since he came into RCB, his best years have been when he was bowling in the UAE. For 2 years, when the IPL was held in the UAE, he had very good season for RCB, outstanding. But he hasn't been able to replicate the same level of success, back in India. And वैसे भी Chinnaswamy in bowling karna is one of the toughest things in cricket, right? I mean, as a spinner or as a fast bowler, it's a graveyard for the bowlers in the IPL, especially. 220, 250 can be even chased down for fun, so it's difficult. So, given the fact that Yash Dayal outperformed Siraj bowling at the Chinnaswamy, I think that may have influenced RCB. Probably also the fact that Dayal was uncapped allowed them to, from that budgeting standpoint, to save a few crores in salary cap, to let Siraj go. Maybe they'll RTM him again. You never know. But I think there are three separate retentions of Kohli, Yash Dayal, and Rajat Patidar is not entirely surprising. Patidar was again completely a no-brainer because of the season that he's had. The impact that he comes in and makes in the middle order as a six hitter and against spin basher, the kind that Shivam Dube has with Chennai Super Kings. So Patidar again from uncapped to journey to 11 crore, fascinating. Kohli, of course, RCB for life again. उन्होंने बता दिया था 10 साल पहले या कभी recently, whenever he's going to play for RCB till he retires. So that was never in question. I think शायद अगर obviously a lot of theory floating around on social media that Virat Kohli may come back to captain them and all that. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but maybe it is their line of thinking that if he's going to be captain, then they're sorted on the leadership front. Whether that influenced them into not retaining Faf, मुझे ये पता नहीं. I'm thinking that may have been a reason. I don't know. कोई मुझे बोला नहीं है. This is purely my theory. So, and also Faf is at 40 now, and he obviously is supremely fit. Has shown the kind of performances that you expect of someone of his caliber and stature. But again, Faf doesn't play all year round like some of the others that we discussed earlier. Narendra Russell, yes, Faf led them to a CPL title with the St. Lucia Kings, I think. But whether he's going to be carrying on till 43. That may have possibly been a doubt that they had. I don't know, or whether the fact that, as I mentioned, they thought if Virat's going to be captain again, maybe they've already got that base of it covered. So maybe that may have influenced them into not picking Faf. I don't know. I'm just my theory, but yeah. So the three retentions, not entirely surprised. Siraj slightly, but again, not entirely surprising. The one guy who I think they could have looked to go back, which I think they still will, is Will Jacks, because as a top order batter who can also bowl off spin, he brings in two different elements, which I feel will be very very valuable. He's shown what he can do. So Will Jacks over Maxwell is something that I thought was always going to be a part of their plan. But yeah, now that he's back into the auction pool, they should ideally, you'd think they'd go all out for him. Cameron Green is one player who I think whose injury kind of derailed those plans a little bit, because if they had brought him in, then you probably have 14 crores or something, or whatever the amount is. Considering he was signed at 17 last time and through the trade, they may have had to shell out something like 15 or 16 maybe this time. So I think his injury kind of threw a little bit of spanner in their works, but I think three retentions, very, very good.
मैं एक्चुअली ना कैमरून ग्रीन का जो सिनेरियो है, आई वांट टू लुक एट दिस फ्रॉम टू पर्सपेक्टिव्स एंड यू टेल मी व्हाट डू यू थिंक इन योर ओपिनियन. एक ये हो सकता है कि परहैप्स इंजरी प्रोन वो रहे हैं, ऑल्दो ही इज जस्ट 25 आई थिंक राइट नाउ, तो शायद दे माइट नॉट बी लुकिंग टू रिटेन हिम. द अदर थॉट कुड बी, जो कि सीम्स मोर एंटाइसिंग टू मी, इज that because he is injury prone right now and his recovery is also a bit in question कि वो in time recover हो पाएंगे कि नहीं, perhaps because of this if he goes to the auction हम RTM के through उनको at a much cheaper price ले सकते हैं as opposed to अगर हम उन्हें retain करना होता तो. So we want to have him back in the team, but why waste so much money when we can have him much cheaper?
तो आपका लॉजिक, आई एम गोइंग टू यूज इट बैक ऑन यू. ये सब अगर दूसरे टीम्स को पता चलेगा कि दे आर ट्राइंग टू गो बैक फॉर हिम, तो वो ऑब्वियसली बिड्स बढ़ाने की कोशिश करेंगे ही. सो ऐसा भी नहीं है कि 4 करोड़ या 5 करोड़ में मिलेंगे. सो आई थिंक कैमरन ग्रीन फॉर द प्लेयर दैट ही इज, आई थिंक उनका वैल्यू 10 करोड़ के ऊपर होगा ही. सो आई थिंक द फैक्ट दैट ही इज नॉट बीन रिटेन्ड इज बिकॉज आई थिंक वो शायद आईपीएल तक रेडी नहीं रहेंगे. 6 महीने इज द एक्सपेक्टेड टाइमलाइन दैट ही विल डेफिनेटली बी आउट. उसके बाद आई थिंक इट्स अ वेट एंड वॉच गेम. सो शायद ऐसा लगता है कि ये आईपीएल वो मिस करेंगे ही, एंड आई थिंक दैट इज वन ऑफ द रीजंस व्हाई ही हैज नॉट बीन रिटेन्ड.
अच्छा, टू आंसर दैट क्वेश्चन, ये चीज़ एंडी फ्लावर या थिंक आरसीबी के डायरेक्टर ऑफ क्रिकेट जो है, उनने अभी 1-2 दिन पहले ये चीज़ बोल दिया क्या कि कैमरन ग्रीन के पीछे वो जाने वाले थे टू रिटेन हिम, बट उनकी इंजरी के चलते हुए वो ही वुड नॉट प्ले दी आईपीएल. उन्होंने ये बोल दिया कि आउट ऑफ आईपीएल होंगे. सो प्रॉब्ली दैट इज़ वाई दे डिडंट गो आफ्टर हिम. मेरा जो क्वेश्चन था वो ये था, पहली बात तो अभी इस टाइम पे ट्विटर इज़ सो टॉक्सिक राइट. सो ट्विटर पे ऐसे बहुत सारे ओपिनियंस आ रहे हैं कि विराट कोहली ही इज़ द हाईएस्ट पेड इंडियन प्लेयर इन द आईपीएल राइट नाउ, 21 करोड़, और किसी इंडियन प्लेयर को इतने पैसे नहीं मिले. सो पीपल आर सेइंग कि विराट कोहली को इतना पैसा इसलिए मिल रहा है क्योंकि उनकी ब्रांड वैल्यू इतनी ज़्यादा है, नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ द प्लेयर दैट ही इज़ इन T20 फॉर्मेट राइट नाउ. Do you think as a RCB fan ki maybe there is some truth to this?
I think it's a massive part of a player who the brand, the signing, and RCB and Virat have this bond that's kind of been unshakable through all the ups and downs, through Kohli's ups and downs, through RCB's ups and downs. So I think everyone today associate Kohli with RCB and RCB with Virat Kohli, whether right or whether wrong, whether you like it, whether you don't like it. And that bond and that loyalty is massive in the IPL if you look at it. So I personally not surprised that RCB have made him the top retention at the price that they're paying him. So many brands that are associated with Virat Kohli also associate themselves with RCB, right? Possibly because they see that association over the years been so good and so unshakable. So it's a massive part of the IPL identity of a player with a team and the team with a player. So I'm not surprised at all. It does play a massive role.
I'm really intrigued to ask you this. I saw your podcast with Mr. Sumit Bilgi once. a few months back, and usme the other guest also revealed how at one point of time during his younger days they renegotiated a contract for Virat Kohli with RCB because they felt that he brings more value to the team. So is it exactly about loyalty, or has it come over the years and pehle shayad utni nahi thi?
It's definitely come over time. See, when IPL started in 2008, it was absolutely new for everybody. Even Chennai Super Kings and MS Dhoni, that bond didn't come overnight or didn't come in 2008. It's taken a while. It took a couple of title-winning runs for them to give him that moniker of Tale. So it's not been instant. It's built over time. And it's only Chennai and RCB through Virat Kohli, and probably Mumbai Indians ever since they got in Rohit Sharma, who've managed to build on this, massive loyal wave of loyalty, and going all out to kind of secure their signings and these players who they believe is who the brand is centered around. Uh, so yeah, I think at that point in time, RCB had Virat Kohli as one of the retentions in 2010, correct? So, yeah, they felt that he was best suited, probably more than Anil Kumble and Rahul Dravid. And that's why they went all out to get him. And as it turns out, I think 1.8 million, 1.6 million, 1.8 million. Uske upar, the auction, someone like a Saurabh Tiwari went for more money than Virat Kohli at the auction. Obviously, sometimes when it goes the other way, then as a player, it's very natural for somebody to think that, oh, maybe I have been picked at a smaller price or whatever it is. So I think that may have resulted in RCB, roping in Kohli as the face of one of the many brands that they had back then with Vijay Mallya, running the team, whether it's Kingfisher Airlines, whether it's Force India, Formula One, whether it's one of the many, many brands. So yeah, I think it's a massive factor. No doubt about it. Loyalty, association with a particular team. It takes time, and it's built over time, and it's not been instant. Even in Virat Kohli's case, first 3 seasons, you thought Manish Pandey was probably a more accomplished player than Virat Kohli. When Manish Pandey made that 100 in the IPL, he was batting way higher than Virat Kohli in the batting order. But obviously, Virat, having played the way he did, being a part of the World Cup winning team and coming into the IPL over time, he has just completely transformed the outlook for RCB.
अच्छा, what I was going to ask you is, as an RCB fan, आप अपना ओपिनियन दीजिएगा, फिर मैं अपना ओपिनियन दूंगा. Do you think it is a right decision अगर वो कैप्टन बनाते हैं विराट कोहली को? Do you want him to become the captain?
I think at the time that Kohli stepped out of captaincy, he was he was in a different space, I think, right? Because he had just Indian team ka test captaincy was taken away under whatever circumstances from him. He didn't want to be, captain. Then there was this issue of him wanting to step down. India had just lost the T20 World Cup where they didn't qualify for the semi-finals. So at that point in time, Virat Kohli was in a different mind space, and it was also in the middle of his own batting fortunes hadn't kind of taken off. So he was, at that point in time, it appeared as if he was cooked. But the circumstances since is different. Kohli looks a lot more relaxed on the field, whether it's in T20 cricket. Let's not talk Test cricket here. I'm not talking about Test cricket and India-New Zealand series mein, jo hua. Let's keep that aside. In T20 cricket, if you see after that, some of his highest of highs in T20 cricket have come post that, right? Melbourne against Pakistan, that knock off for the ages. Or just his transformation this season in the IPL. They said, spin mein unka weakness hai. The way he overcame that weakness, the way he had an outstanding run at the top of the order. He reinvented himself, and played a key role in RCB coming back from nowhere. No one gave them a chance. Came back to the playoffs or that knock in the final of the T20 World Cup. Sure, I mean, a lot of people will say that it was a slow knock. Had India lost, maybe that may have probably, led to India scoring 20 runs too little. Whatever it is, end result is he top scored. He stood for the team when everyone else kind of collapsed. So that kind of gave India the total that they eventually finished with. So So some of Kohli's highs in T20 cricket have come post captaincy, right? So he appears a lot more calmer, different, slightly different persona to him. So I think giving having another crack at this stage of his career, I don't think will necessarily be a bad thing. It's cyclical, right? People go through phases in their careers. This Kohli appears completely, unshackled by whatever he's been as a captain earlier. He appears a lot more free, a lot more calm. I think there's something still left. I think he realizes maybe that he wants that IPL title as badly as anyone else because he's been with this team since 2008. So maybe that's the kind of chapter that he'd like to usher in. So maybe. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for Kohli to take the captaincy back. It's certainly outstanding for the brand. It's certainly outstanding for the fans. Everyone's gonna, as it is, tickets are so hard to get for a Bangalore game at Chinnaswamy. This will make it that much more harder, that much more. It just adds another layer of intrigue, another layer of fun to what the IPL is. So at this stage, Virat to take the captaincy back, necessarily not a bad thing. Had they retained Faf, this question wouldn't even have arisen, I guess, that you would have said that straight away it's a no-brainer that they'll continue with Faf.
अच्छा आजकल लोगों की प्रॉब्लम ही यही है कि विराट कोहली ज़्यादा ही काम लग रहे हैं पीपल वांट टू सी हिम एंग्री पीपल वांट टू सी दैट हंगर बैक
एग्जैक्टली सो ये कप्तानी अगर उनको मिल जाए वापस maybe that fire will come back and that naked aggression, that intent, that intensity, whatever you call it, the send-offs and all that, that'll also come back शायद. So maybe not necessarily a bad thing, right?
पर भैया आप सोचो आपने जो भी चीज़ें बोली हैं अभी वो सारी इट इज़ फ्रॉम विराट कोहलीज परस्पेक्टिव कि विराट कोहली का बेस्ट निकल के आएगा. वॉट वी हैव नॉट टॉक्ड अबाउट इज़ कि RCB एज अ क्लब इज़ दिस द राइट डिसीजन फॉर देम. लाइक अगर हम स्टैटिस्टिक्स वाइज भी जाएं तो ऐसा एक स्टार्ट है कि जिन जिन प्लेयर्स ने 100 सुपर मैचेस की कैप्टेंसी कर रखी है उसमें केवल विराट कोहली ऐसे प्लेयर है जिनने मैचेस हारे ज़्यादा हैं और जीते कम हैं.
देखिए अगर वो कैप्टन नहीं है तो भी उनका एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रोल रहा है लीडरशिप ग्रुप में. ही इज अ कैप्टन, डिफैक्टो कैप्टन, राइट? ऐसा नहीं है कि फैफ वाज द ओनली वन मेकिंग डिसीजंस ऑन द फील्ड. Virat was equally as a senior player, contributing to some of the key decisions that they made or have made across over the last 3 years. So just because that C is not there next to his name, ऐसा नहीं था कि Kohli was completely by himself या completely aloof. ऐसा नहीं है. He's still been part of the leadership group. So I think it's just an extension now of that C वापस देने से nothing changes in that sense. Yes, he'll be in the line of fire a lot more. He'll probably have to answer a lot more questions that he wasn't doing earlier, and Faf was fronting up at the post-match presentations and all that, generally, or in any other way you look at it. But I think not much changes in that sense. That C added next to his name, or C that wasn't his name. He was always part of the leadership group, and his inputs have been key to building the team, or whether it's important strategic calls or whether it's the overall selection or whatever it is.
Okay, last question on RCB. Do you think ऋषभ पंत and KL राहुल में से एटलीस्ट एक कोई प्लेयर आने वाला है इस बार RCB में?
Undoubtedly, they'll go for one of them. No doubt about it. Yeah. They need somebody. They will definitely go all out to get one of them. They have the money to go. At least, I think they'll at least get one of KL or Rishabh Pant for sure. Who it is, obviously, that's left to auction day. But I think whoever it is, it'll be a great addition to RCB. KL Rahul purely because RCB is where he ignited his white ball sparks. 2016, he was, part of RCB through the trade. He came in. He wasn't particularly impressive in the middle order for Sunrisers Hyderabad. And then 16, he comes into RCB. I remember there was a game against Gujarat Lions, I think. Fourth or fifth game, middle of the season. RCB hasn't started well. KL Rahul is not picked in the 11, but after the toss, there's a late injury to Mandeep Singh. So KL Rahul is inducted. They take the permission of the Gujarat team to change the 11. And Rahul is brought into the 11. Bats in the middle order, makes a 50. That 50 begins marks the beginning of Rahul, the T20 batter. He has a great season. RCB go to the final, and then that's when KL Rahul kicks off as a T20 cricketer. So, in a sense, RCB is a team that kind of made KL Rahul the white ball batter, because until then everyone had this notion that Rahul is a red ball cricketer. He's more suited to red ball cricket. So at RCB that year, he banished those thoughts that he's not just a red ball batter. So in that sense, it'll be nice for him to come back to the place where it all started for him in white ball cricket. So it'll be a nice completion of a circle of sorts for KL if he's picked by RCB. And Rishabh Pant, it's Bangalore where he made his India debut T20 cricket, I think against England. So in that sense, it'll be nice to come back to the venue where he made his debut all those years ago in 2017.
प्लस आई थिंक अगर चहल भी आ जाए तो सोने पे सुहागा हो जाएगा. आई थिंक द ऑप्शन
चहल आ जाए तो that will be the signing of the season. Yeah, I mean Chahal back to RCB. Very, very unfortunate why he was let go. And this is a great opportunity for RCB to correct that, because they acknowledged that it was a mistake at that point in time. And this is a great opportunity to kind of somewhat undo that.
I think to sum up, RCB की strategy is going to be to bring back the glory days, as some people have said. But actually
glory days बनाना है भाई. Glory days तो है नहीं. ये glory days को देखना है तो there is a women's team that's won the WPL, where again just we spoke about brands and all that, right? They went after the the biggest player in the the women's team, Smriti Mandhana, Harmanpreet Kaur, Smriti Mandhana. They went for Smriti. And yeah, so I think वो DNA में है. They want to have that one big signing that they make and build their brand around it. So glory days तो है, बाकी picture अभी बाकी है. But yeah, I'm sure that they also are keen to do that.
अब सोचो अगर एक क्लिप इतनी बढ़िया थी तो पूरा का पूरा पॉडकास्ट कितना बढ़िया होगा.
तो अगर आपको इसी क्लिप का पूरा पॉडकास्ट देखना है तो यहाँ पे क्लिक करिए, और अगर आपको ऐसे ही और क्लिप्स बिंज वॉच करनी है तो यहाँ पे क्लिक करिए.